Today, it is my privilege to introduce to you Stephen Page. He enjoys a diverse musical career. He currently serves as the concertmaster for the Las Colinas, Garland, and Arlington Symphony Orchestras in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, for which he has also been a featured soloist. He's an active chamber musician as well, performing with Dallas-based chamber groups, Stonebriar String Quartet, and Neo Camerata. Stephen enjoys his teaching studio in Dallas and is a sought-after clinician and pedagogue for aspiring young musicians. Stephen's great passion for music is composition, and you're going to hear some of that today in these arrangements of these songs. He's been a commissioned arranger for the Stonebriar Community Church in Frisco, Texas, and many other musical groups in the Dallas area. His compositions have been featured on several music albums, including Stonebriar String Quartet's Christmas album, Deck the Halls, and his own solo album, My Favorite Hymns. Now, after we've concluded this, if you would like to order one of these online, My Favorite Hymns, you can do so by contacting Stephen Page at pagemusic@gmail.com. Let me just spell it so there's no mistake. pagemuse@gmail.com. pagemuse@gmail.com. And I know that you're going to certainly be blessed. He has a music degree, Master of Music degree from Northwestern University, and also a Bachelor of Music degree from Southern Methodist University. And we have found him to be an absolutely phenomenal violinist. Is that not true? Would you at this time, as it is my pleasure, welcome Stephen Page. You can move this down.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank you for having me here. On Friday when I played for you, I had such a great time, and I met many wonderful people, and I'm very grateful to have met you. And I think I think this is just a wonderful church and a wonderful pastor. So thank you again for having me. And probably most of you grew up in churches that sang hymns and played hymns, and that was the normal music for you. Not so with me. I hardly heard any hymns growing up. I heard more modern contemporary Christian music. And a few years ago, I took a job at a church that played mostly hymns. And I was blown away because I had not heard many of these. So when the opportunity came around to make an album, it was my very first choice, was to arrange some of my favorite hymns. And so I've brought 3 of those today to play for you. And a fourth one, the very last one, will be an arrangement that I actually composed specifically for this church to play this weekend, called "O Come All Ye Faithful." And I hope you enjoy it. The first one I like to play is Martin Luther's "A Mighty Fortress." Amen. The next one I'd like to play for you is, it's called Blessed Assurance. And I believe it was an old Fanny Crosby hymn. And something struck me in the lyrics. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. So I got the idea when I was writing it to add a little bit of time reference. So if you listen very closely, in the piano part, I have a little help from the world's most famous clock. if you ask anybody what their absolute favorite hymn is, they will probably say Amazing Grace. And it's my favorite hymn, too. I came up with it was a dilemma when I was writing it. I said, well, everyone has done Amazing Grace in every single possible way. So I wrote it in such a way as that you may not be able to tell at first that it's Amazing Grace, but eventually you'll get the idea. So I hope you enjoy this very different arrangement of Amazing Grace. Not much needs to be said about "O Come All You Faithful." It's one of my favorite Christmas hymns, and when Dr. Stewart mentioned that perhaps I should do that for a radio spot in which he was going to use as background for an advertisement for this morning, I composed this, "O Come All You Faithful." He didn't end up using it in the radio spot, but it's not his fault. But I really hope you enjoy this, "O Come All Ye Faithful."